Hello, my awesome 5th grade artist. Today we're starting a new project. We are going to be doing something really interesting called faux felting. So there is an art form called felting, and it's when an artist uses pieces of felt and a needle to punch the felt and create different kinds of objects. So I've seen animals that are faux felted. Let me show you this. And your teachers have a picture of this. This is where they're using the felt. You see it's like a fluffy stuff, and they're using a needle. That's a needle, and they're punching it, and then they're creating, actually in the end, they come up with this really unique pumpkin. We're going to be doing something called faux felting. Faux means it's not real, so it's kind of like felting, but this is just a different spin on it. And we're going to be using an artist named Kandinsky as our inspiration. So before starting this art lesson, teachers, look in your lesson plans, go to YouTube, and show the students the Kandinsky video. I have a link to that in your lesson plans. You can just type in there what I have written out, and it'll tell a little bit about Kandinsky. But Kandinsky was an abstract artist, and remember, abstract means that it doesn't look like things that are real life. Often it's just shapes, lines, color. And one thing that Kandinsky really liked to do in his art was concentric circles. This is one of his pieces of art. This is a painting. And concentric circles are just circles inside of circles. So you see there's a big, and they get smaller and smaller, and he used different colors. He used different thicknesses of his circles. And we're going to be recreating that in our faux felting today. You're going to be making concentric circles also. So to begin with, you're going to each get a piece of, you're going to have like a little Ziploc bag, and it'll be your little packet of supplies. And then you can put it back in your Ziploc bag every week while you're working on this, and it'll help protect it. But you're going to have a piece of foam and a piece of burlap. And on the burlap, you just get what you get, and that's it. So get what you get, and you don't throw a fit on the color that you get. So I'm starting with this. You're going to lay your piece of burlap on top of the foam. And I'm going to show you, you're going to have all different kinds of yarn. Now, teachers in the classroom, because we don't want students getting up and disrupting everybody and just constantly being out of their seats. The best way to do this is to have some pre-cut pieces of yarn. These are not very, I'm trying to put this so you can kind of see, it's not very long, at your tables or at your desk if you have groups of desks, and the students can choose from them. Have like a bigger Ziploc bag that has them in it, and then students can use that, and then they can share. They're not going to be using this entire piece. So when they cut theirs off, it'll go back in the bag, and then you'll have a variety of yarn there. They won't have to keep getting up constantly and disrupting your class. So I'm going to start with just this purple, and this is a soft texture. Students and teachers, encourage your students to use different colors, a variety of textures. You're going to make your lines, some of your lines thick and some of your lines thin. We want variety and we want contrast in our art. Excuse me. We're using these large paper clips. They're a special paper clip. They're called non-skid, and they have these little grooves in them. And that's going to help you, it's going to adhere better to your yarn for punching through. All right, so you're going to take your paper clip, boys and girls, and open it up, just that one end of it. Leave this other end intact like that, and it'll give you a good place to grip. So you're just going to straighten that out, just that end. I'm going to sit it right here, and you're going to start with your very center circle. So you're going to make a circle out of your yarn. It's up to you how big you make it, but I'm just going to start with the end of a piece of yarn, and I'm going to kind of just circle it around in my hands to the size that I want. Kind of getting it started. See how I'm making a circle? I'm going to put it right in the center of my burlap, and you're going to take that paper clip and the point, and you're going to start punching it through. Some go easier than others, and you don't have to punch the whole thing, but what is going to happen is it's going to get kind of stick in there, and it's going to go all the way through into that foam. You can hear it crunching. That kind of scooted some of that out. So I'm going to take some and put here in the middle. And now I want that circle a little bit bigger. So I'm going to kind of go around And wrap that around. And it's kind of, you'll feel that it's now your burlap is now sticking to your styrofoam. I'll make it just a little bigger on that side, and then I'm going to cut it. That's going to be my center circle. Try to be careful and not poke yourself with the paper clip. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that right there. And I'm going to poke that down in that end that kind of came out, that little end where I cut, and then that's our center circle. So now I've got this other yarn. I've got a piece cut already, and I'm going to start going around it. So this is a thicker piece of yarn. It's a different texture. I'm just going to start going around, punching. You don't punch everywhere. You just punch in different areas to kind of get it stuck in places. I'm going to just start wrapping it around like this. And it kind of bunches it up into an irregular shape, and that's okay. It's not perfect. These are abstract. We're not trying to make perfect circles. You kind of have to sometimes work with it to get it in a spot where the paper clip's going to go through. Just keep going. So it's up to you how thick you want to make that circle. And you can just keep going. I'm going to stop here in just a minute so I can show you a few other things. Okay, now you see that's in there pretty good. Now when you get that, I'm going to cut it right now, but you can make yours as big as you want. Anytime you cut, you need to go back and punch in that part that you cut. I need to straighten my paper clip out some. It'll get bent. Okay, so now that's getting in there. And then I would just keep going with circles. Let me show you my finished one. You want to keep going until you really get those big circles, so you're almost filling your piece of burlap. So just keep going. Every time you finish in class, put all of your stuff, your paper clip, everything back in your Ziploc bag. You'll have it ready. Make sure your name's on it. You'll have it ready for next time. So when you finish, what you're going to do is you have to remove it from the styrofoam. And I really suggest that teachers help do this part. So to keep it limited where students aren't all piling up on you, only call one or two to your desk, or go to them, so you're not having people crowding you. When you peel it off, you're going to gently pull it up from that styrofoam. We're not going to like do a swift motion. It could mess things up. So really gently, teachers, just pull it out, and you will see that it's stuck on there. And if you flip it over, this is where I punched it through on the back, and that's what's holding it. And so to really protect that, then I'm going to have lots of different colors of this square cardstock cut for you, and you're going to pick a color that will complement your piece. So I think this looks really nice because that blue contrasts with that magenta color. And then teachers, you are going to use your hot glue and glue it down for them in the center. Okay, so they should look really cool in the end, and we'll have lots of these Kandinsky concentric circles, and they're going to look awesome for our art show. They're going to look great on Artsonia. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. Take your time. This can be a really relaxing thing. Teachers put some music on and let the students be creative. And I will see you next time. Bye.